Beverly Berg of Smithers, BC. You could win a $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if a kickoff's return for a touchdown in this game thanks to Safeway Sobeys $1 million touchdown to win promotion. And Beverly, if it happens a second time, you could also win $1 million. Final game of the regular season. We head to Vancouver and join Rod Black and Matt Dunnigan.
Thank you, Rod. Hello, Canada. 5 months, 20 weeks. We come down to one last game. And one last question. Will the Toronto Argonauts finish first or second in the CFL East? Will the BC Lions play spoiler? And Manny Arsenault says yes. And that's Manny's bobblehead tonight. That's not the real Manny.
There he is. Boy, we didn't see Manny for the first couple of weeks of the season. Got off to a really slow start, and then he got hot and became the Manny Arsenault that we all have known to love over the last 7 years from Alcorn State. Now, the other side, the guy that Ricky Ray looks to most often, and I don't blame him. This guy's had a phenomenal comeback year after a terrible injury. Comes back stronger than ever. S.J. Green making it happen.
Mark Trestman's team, 1 win away from 500, 1 win away from hosting the Eastern Final in 2 weeks. A win or a tie tonight. Otherwise, if Wally Buono's team wins in what could be Wally's final game, glorious career. If the Lions win tonight, the Argos next week will take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who will cross over. So we're ready to roll here tonight. BC Lions, 20 straight years. They have not been in this position. Not going to the playoffs, which is almost remarkable. But they're not going this year as Martese Jackson brings it up near the 36-yard line, and Ricky Ray, 60,000 yards plus. Ricky Ray, 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, brings his offense on the field with an eye to clinch a spot in the Eastern Final.
Roddy's been phenomenal this year. Really having an outstanding year under Mark Trestman's guidance.
Their nominee could be the Eastern nominee for most outstanding player. Balloting is out. This guy's had an outstanding year too. James Wilder Jr. You heard the guys in the studio talk about what JWJ has done since being inserted at tailback.
Yeah, and this guy, they're happy to get back. Anthony Coombs back in the lineup. He does a lot of things for this football team. Don't underestimate his presence in the lineup late in the season, along with S.J. Green, and two-time nominee award winner for most outstanding offensive lineman from the Argonauts, is Sean McEwen.
6-yard pickup, 2nd and 4. Argos getting healthy at the right time. Have had a couple weeks off, and there goes Wilder again. Wilder is flattened up near the 51-yard line, but a first down quickly. 2 plays for the Argos, and they move the sticks. An 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, Blackie, the defense is going to be tasked with trying to stop that man. It's headed up by Craig Rowe, 3rd-year player from Michigan, leads the team in sacks. Solomon Elamimian just 11 away from breaking his own record he set a couple years back in total tackles at 143. And then this kid, newcomer on the corner, Kendall James, really made an impact last week.
Here's Declan Cross. Burley fullback, knocked out of bounds by Chandler Fenner.
That's how they use him too. Through the air. He's only got 1 rush on the season, Rod, for -2 yards, but that's not what he's about. He's about sneaking out into a place like that and picking up valuable yards and finding the end zone. He's found it 4 times this year already.
Argo team really marching the football from the opening kick here in their first series into BC territory after a 7-yard gain. Ray back to pass again. Threads it in once more to James Wilder Jr. And so they use these backs a lot. And there's a flag down back near the line of scrimmage. One thing the Argos do, Matty, is they spread the wealth.
Yeah, they do. And it is a timing type of mechanism offensively.
Holding. Toronto number 61. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Well, we highlight him at the top of the show. Their nomination for best offensive lineman category, Sean McEwen, last 2 years in a row. He's caught for holding in that situation. But Rod, you get back to the timing aspect of this offense. It's all about Ricky Ray reading it out, trusting the receivers being in the right spot, and the ball coming out.
Ricky Ray, by the way, 34 completions away from breaking the CFL all-time record for completions in a season set by Henry Burris in 2015. Is this complete? Dangerous toss. S.J. Green. That could have gone the other way. Instead, S.J. Green has the biggest play so far, and that is catch number 100 on the season for S.J. Green, a 34-yard pickup.
Boy, and it was just the drama here. Watch him. He's going to sneak out here, and that ball's got to travel all the way from Ricky Ray in this spot over that way, and it takes forever to get there. It just beats the corner who can't get underneath to watch him. He dives. Oh, that ball just beat him there, and S.J.'s off to the races.
Ricky Ray operates at a high percentage always. Career almost 70%. His team at 70%. Shotgun again. And he'll hand it into the gut once more of James Wilder Jr.
Yeah, I think Ricky Ray has really found his groove. Obviously, over the years, he's been able to amass the yards, join an elite group too. And you call him, you say AC, you say Damon, you say Hank, and you say Ricky, and everybody knows who you're talking about. That 60K club.
And you say knocking on the door to the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, no question.
38 years old. And boy, he's found the fountain of youth this year. Ricky Ray has.
Because at 32 sitting right next to him, he balances that offense. It's huge for Ray.
Ray out of the pocket and has another completion. It's Malcolm Williams, Maple Ridge, BC player, played his junior ball out here, the Langley Rams, and also played at UBC, so coming home and makes a catch.
Underrated aspect of being a quarterback is your pocket presence, being able to maneuver in there, find that extra time. Ricky does that, finds Malcolm Williams, his 14th catch on the season.
4 for 4 for Ricky right now for 60 yards. That last play for 11. They're inside the red zone, where they're operating last in the CFL. This is where the Argos have struggled from 20 yards in. While they're trying to find the outside, he has it down near the 5-yard line. If you think, you know...
Blackie, did you see Chris Van Zyl just paving the road for Wilder? Just took a couple DBs out that got in his way, and he just flattened him at the point of attack there when Wilder was trying to cut it up to the end zone. Watch Van Zyl. He's right here. Watch him get out. He's going to get out in front of Wilder as he bounces it out, and watch at the end of the play. He's got one right there. Solly, Wilder's got him, then he just cleans up everybody right about there.
Cody Fajardo comes in, short yardage quarterback on 2nd and inches. Bringing all the Hoggies, and likely has this, so they'll go 1st and goal. You think about the Argos and the numbers they put up and how many more numbers and how much bigger those offensive numbers could be had they had better red zone production.
Yeah, and I think it's balanced too. And again, I go back to the presence of James Wilder Jr. Now you're going to see even more balanced attack and opportunities to distribute the ball quickly with Anthony Coombs being on the field. I think that gives him an opportunity for, one, establish the line of scrimmage, get more people in the box. Now you get more one-on-one opportunities, open up his receiving core.
Clock chewing drive out of the gate, 10th play. He's almost eaten up 6 minutes. Ray again hands it off once more, and Wilder is swallowed up on 1st and goal, and actually may have lost a yard. So Anthony Coombs will come back into the ball game. Declan Cross goes out. See if they work a play for number 1.
Yeah, you watch these two guys coming off the edge here. Ricky Ray never reads this out. He's just going to give the ball to Wilder, and if he actually pulls that, it's a walk-in for him. But I think the defense, Davis and Solomon, know that. They just spearheaded for James Wilder Jr.
Lions looking to make a stand here. 2nd and goal. Ray looking end zone, still looking, throwing out of bounds. And once again, another trip to the red zone that likely is going to result in a field goal attempt here, or will it? Yep, Lirim Haralahu is coming out, so just talked about it.
Yep.
League worst, 9th in the red zone, and this was such a good drive by the Argos.
Yeah, and the timing, oftentimes down here, you have to have the ability to extend plays. And you heard Jock Climbey there prior to the ball game starting talking about extended plays and off-schedule plays, and oftentimes it just doesn't work out down here. And Ricky, not the most nimble of foot out there. really can't create, and that's where some of that lack of production comes into play.
But they do strike first. Huge drive results in a Harilahu field goal. When we come back, Lions get the ball, and Jonathan Jennings coming off his season best, his career best. 400 yards last week in the win in Winnipeg, looking to play spoilers here tonight. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. I can't believe I'm saying this because I just saw our buddies Suits and CC do that game out in Regina, where it was really cold, and last night cold.
Yeah,
it was actually cold here today, though.
Yeah,
it snowed in Vancouver.
Yeah, it was. I thought bad for Sarah Lesky. That's who I was concerned about.
Oh, she can handle it. She's from the Peg. Well, it's cool weather and a little reverse here. Jeremiah Johnson from Chris Rainey, as the Lions have been struggling with starting points in their return game this season. Hard to believe. Here comes JJ, Jonathan Jennings, and the Lions on some Saturday night football on the final day of the season. There is the 25-year-old out of Columbus, Ohio, last year considered by many an all-star breakout season for Jonathan Jennings. Really been a struggle in so many ways this year for the young man.
Yeah, oftentimes it's just not the X's and O's. It's how to deal all the things that come with being the starting quarterback, or in the situation this year, backing up for Travis Lulay before he got hurt. So a lot of learning for Jennings this year.
Turns and hands it off to Jeremiah Johnson. JJ to JJ.
They'd like to see that, establish the line of scrimmage. You got to against that Toronto offense, but it's going to start with this guy. Actually, it's going to finish for him tonight. Marco Iannucci, 7th-year player from Harvard, absolutely phenomenal career, both on and off. Cody Husband, their nomination for most outstanding center spot. And I just tip of the hat to Marco for making it happen on the field as long as he did. Successful career off.
And went to class, too. Most guys in Harvard do. There's big Rolly Lambala on the far side, first down.
MIT-Harvard combination education for that young man. And this guy, early on in the season, he was absolutely phenomenal. Butler was bringing it. 8 sacks in the first 3 games, 9 on the year, slowed down due to injury. Bear Woods overcame a lot of injuries in the middle for them at the linebacker spot. Mitchell White, what a great get in the middle of the season, shut down corner.
Jennings back to Bass for the second time, tries to find the window, and it's incomplete. The Argos thought they had the ball for Nick Moore. Bear Woods in on the play as well.
Yeah, Nick Moore was on the sidelines quite a bit this year because of Chris Williams. Williams has been benched lately, and so that gives Moore an opportunity to kickstart his 7-year career, and he's looked fabulous since he's coming back.
As you mentioned, 6 games missed. The Lions fell to the injury bug like most teams did. 2nd and 10. Jennings rears back and incomplete, looking for the man of the night, bobblehead night for Manny Arsenault. Shakes his head this time.
First 5,000 fans into the building got a bobblehead from Manny, and I don't know if you picked one up, Rod, or 2 or 3.
You know what? We should have. We were here early enough. We weren't thinking.
Definitely.
Because normally I would.
We were just pimping.
Hey, you know what? They make great Christmas gifts.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Is that re-gifting?
Yeah, definitely.
Would be the first time.
Here goes Jackson. Martise Jackson. Now cutting back and still on his feet down the sideline, and finally gets angled out of bounds. And Martise Jackson with a flag on the play on the far side. See if this stands up. Ricky Ray's already had a good drive tonight. Could have a great starting point on a 52-yard return. And Martise Jackson will tell you about the penalty when we come back. Well, the Audi 2017 MLS Cup playoffs tomorrow. TFC against the Red Bulls. Winner tie at BMO Field tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific for the Reds. 1 and 4 on TSN, and that's Jordan Herdman, the penalized BC Lion.
Ricky Ray, great field position here, Rod. I'll take that every day as a quarterback, starting to the opposition 40.
This is to Anthony Coombs, his first touch in a long time, down the sideline. And
that's a late hit, too. It looked like from here, Rod.
Yes, it did. The Argos so happy to have this guy back. He's missed the last 8 games.
Yeah, this is the type of play he's going to be called upon to make, too. Is get the ball in his hands, little bubble screen, and hit it. Yeah, I thought that was late. Lucas Purifoy got him about a yard out of bounds, in my opinion, but nobody flagged him, so play it on.
Coombs, who broke his collarbone back on August 19th, has been out of the lineup. The Winnipeg native, former Manitoba Bison. First round pick, 3rd overall by the Argos in 2014. Ricky, play action.
All alone.
Declan Cross now down that sideline, and Ricky Ray is just slinging it right now.
Yeah, this is Declan Cross. This is by design. He lines up as a tight end, basically, as an like 2 tackles. Watch, he's right here on the side of the screen, and he's just gonna flare out in the flat here as Ricky Ray point fakes to Wilder. Pretends like he's gonna block. Ricky times it, dishes it to him, and it's off to the races. 35th reception of the year for Declan Cross.
1st and goal. See if the Argos can finally get some red zone happiness here. Hasn't been that way this year.
Touchdown.
End zone touchdown. S.J. Green.
Yeah, it's pitching and catching there. I saw S.J. coming right to left, just pushed his man upfield and ran away from him on a post route. Ricky Ray just brought his eyes to the right side of the field and then came back to his left-hand side and made a nice, easy toss. He's going to be coming right to left in your screen, right in front of Lucas Purifoy, right there. Ball's thrown out with timing. That's easy pickings. That's what you need down in the red zone, trying to win first place in the East. Ricky Ray gets it done that time.
S.J. Green, the #1 receiver in the red zone this season in the Canadian Football League. That's 7 catches for him inside that 20-yard line. He's the money man. Lirim Hajrullahu.
I believe that's his 100th catch of the year, too.
Had one earlier.
Yeah, 101.
32-yard point after. Hajrullahu has not missed on the point afters this year. Ricky Ray, touchdown pass, number 26 on the season. Seventh red zone touchdown ties Duron Carter of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Solomon Jr. Green, most targeted guy in the Canadian Football League, and it's a good target for Ricky Ray.
Yeah, everybody's getting involved too. That's 5 receivers already caught balls from Ricky Ray. Anthony Coombs into the mix, little bubble screen. Declan Cross out in the flat, nice little play action. Get everybody sucked in, and then S.J. Cross in the face of Anthony Thompson, free safety, making that look easy. 3rd time in his career he's caught 10 or more touchdowns in a season. S.J. Green lighting it up.
Quick lead early on here as the Argos, with a win or tie tonight, solidify first in the CFL East and will wait out the winner next week. But lots of football left to go here. This ball is actually kicked out of bounds.
Lirim's not happy with himself there. It's disgusted.
Illegal kickoff out of bounds. Toronto #70. Ball would place at the 45-yard line. 1st down.
That is a big difference to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like much, but it's a momentum killer. You know, you just scored a touchdown. You're up 10-0, and then just a mental lapse by Lirim Hajrullahu, who's actually had a phenomenal year. And he just kind of pulled it out of bounds, and now BC's got decent field position starting their own 45.
Something that the Lions have struggled with this year. They're kind of outliers in so many ways statistically. Score a good number of points. Big offense. Run the football. Throw the football. But #1 in the red zone percentage. But fortunately for the Lions, 7-10 record. Just can't finish. There is, looks like a contact or interference call on the far side. Flag down.
Yeah, Mitchell White, and he was within the 5 yards. And I know there was some banging going on with Nick Moore, top of the screen. Watch the battle. Nick Moore, Mitchell
Pass
White.
interference. Toronto #12.
Little
10-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Yeah, he definitely got in front of him, got it on his chest plate, put his hand there, and I mean, it's pretty decent coverage, but he did get there early, so tough to argue that one from Mitchell White.
Our referee tonight is Tom Valese. Right on the 55-yard line. Midfield stripe here for the Lions. trying to answer that Argos score.
Well, they got bump and run coverage across the board. You can see it.
Jennings called that play off, and now Jeremiah Johnson splits the gut.
Typically, in that situation, Rod, when you have one-on-one coverage across the board, as you saw there from the all-24 angle, you're going to get a lot of one-on-one opportunities, and there's more people in the box. Look at how many people are in the box. There's 8 guys there. They still run the football with success. There's a great block up the middle. Open it up for Jeremiah Johnson.
First and 10 from the Argo 45-yard line. Jennings play action now. Deep shot, but an overthrow. Way overthrows Marco Iannuzzi.
Yeah, now, if you look at that play, it's play action, and Jonathan, I know the design, but you got to be able to get off of that and have a check down, and he doesn't. I believe he's right up the top, and he's going to come down here, and he's going to work across the field on what we call a climb route. Watch Iannuzzi coming down. He's climbing the defense, gaining leverage, but the safety's over the top, plus Mitchell White is right there. Jonathan's got to be able to get off of that, check it down, put himself in a second and manageable as opposed to second and long.
Lions 6th in the CFL on second down conversions. Floats one up for Arsenault, but once again, Mitchell White was the closest to getting that football, and Matty Arsenault retreats to the sideline once again, and the Lions drive stalls once again.
And you're going to see why Jonathan Jennings throws into traffic 2 plays in a row. It's because he's got heat in the kitchen, and he's got to get rid of this football, and he takes one right in the ribs from Khalil Bass, who was just picked up. I think another great pickup. You're talking about putting the right pieces in place late. Toronto's did that late in the offseason, and they're doing it down the stretch here, getting stronger as the season goes on.
Penalty flag down, looks like no yards, so you can add 15 to that. Ronnie Edwards on the return. So could be a record-breaking night for this guy, Solomon Elimimian, breaking his own record. With more on the sideline on Solly, let's go to Farhan Lalji.
Thanks, Rod. Solly believes he needs to break that record if he's going to wind up winning a 3rd Defensive Player of the Year award, and that means a lot to him in a year that, from a team perspective, hasn't gone real well. He says that would really take a little bit of the sting away from what's happened with the Lions not getting into the playoffs. Not that he's a selfish player, but he does know, and as does Wally Bono. He says the record is not a big deal, but Wally also believes that award does matter. So he believes that this game sets himself up for that because he gets to go head-to-head with James Wilder. He's watched how Wilder plays. He equates this battle to facing an Andrew Harris or a Jerome Messam. He knows Toronto's going to run the ball, so he's in a perfect position to get the 11 tackles he needs to break the record. And on the first 2 drives, he already tackled Wilder 3 times, so he's on good pace so far.
All right, thank you, Farhan. We will watch. He's been credited for 2, so we'll watch him tonight. Needs 11 for Solly.
Yeah, and 5 times this year already, he's had 10 or more tackles in a game, and if he go ahead and gets that record, that means he has 6 10 or more tackles in a game, which will tie his record he set back in 2014 of 6 games with 10 or more tackles in one season. Absolutely phenomenal.
Sometimes that record can be a little deceiving for some, not for Solomon Elimimian. If you're tackling a lot of guys, it means sometimes they get to the 2nd or potentially 3rd level. The difference in Elimimian, though, he's a predator. He's a guy who can go out and get those tackles, make those hits, tackles for losses.
Yeah, and every one of these guys that we're looking at here on this board are all middle linebackers. And that's their job. Most of the time, everybody's working to free them up, to come downhill, and to make tackles. So a lot of people say, yeah, well, where was that tackle? Was it 7 yards downfield? It doesn't mean a whole lot. We got a stat, which I really like, tackles tackles for no gain, tackles for losses, knockdowns, and sacks. Those all contribute to plays behind the line of scrimmage, or stops, we call them. And I absolutely love that stat because it really tells where the ball player's playing on the field. Is it behind the line of scrimmage, or is it on your own side?
Guess who's in the middle of that again? One thing you always know is it's almost like an eye test or a voice test. If you hear his name a lot, you hear Elimimian's name a lot during a broadcast. There's Malcolm Williams, who's down and hurt, so Scott Shannon and his team will come out and take a look at the Argos receiver.
It's just not tackles, too, for these people. And A lot of times it's fitting holes and forcing people back to defenders and teammates. And oftentimes these middle linebackers are called on to do that. Solomon, not so much. He's called upon to use his skill set, which is seek and destroy, and he does it better than most.
Consider, too, this is a year where there is no Adam Bighill, no Team 100 and Elimimian beside Chandler Fenner and Micah Alway. There's Alway, who's
he
had
talk about another
breakout year.
Yeah, this guy is special. He's got a really nose for the football, but it's actually his knee that actually gets Malcolm Williams here. As you see 51 Alway, and you watch it, it kind of just gets him right in the back of the helmet, back of the neck area. Unfortunate collision sport. Collisions happen. Point of attack, away from the ball, and sometimes unexpected. I think Malcolm Williams really didn't see that one coming.
Talking about the back of the neck, that area, and of course, danger of concussion. Will likely undergo some protocol here. A lot of people, by the way, about concussions. You know, there are a lot of interesting studies, out there. There's been a fascinating study recently about a piece of equipment called the NeuroShield, where a high school team in the States has been using this, and it's been eliminating a lot of concussion use, and they're talking more about the neck as opposed to the head. And I find down the road, I think there's going to be a lot more investigation, a lot more information out there, because it's still a very mysterious element. And you have been a proponent, of course, an advocate of the dangers and awareness surrounding concussions in sport.
But I'm not for the I'm all for player safety on the field, Rod. That's a nice play by, that looks like Chandler Fenner right there, one of my favorite players. Another knockdown for him. Rod, I'm all for safety on the field of these players, and protocols are put in place to make sure that you get in front of the players and being screened properly, and we're educating ourselves about concussions. Watch the play off the edge. Top of the screen, Fenner, get up. Blocks the pass by Ricky Ray. That, folks, is a big-time play. Doesn't look like much, but forces stronger punt.
Chris Rainey, who has struggled on punt returns this year, is going down, but it's a good starting point again. Good defensive play by Fenner and the BC Lions D and Manny Arsenault. Just another typical year for Manny. Another year over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, that makes 4 for him now, and he's trying to get that 100-yard reception mark. This is what he started at 94 in this ball game, and that's doable. It's just had a horrendously slow start, but it's really picked up, and he's found his form. I think he was dealing injury earlier in the career, or excuse me, this season, and he's healthy now. There he is.
Jennings pulls it back and goes over the top, and just like that, the Manny show is on here tonight.
Yeah, Manny was open a lot earlier, but Jonathan didn't see him. He waited too late. He's right here. He's going to move, and he's coming across right to the screen. Watch Jennings point fake. Boom. Give it to him. He's open now. Give it to him. Well, that's just a nice job by Manny securing that ball because it was late. Big man moves the sticks.
Cassius Vaughn made that tackle. 1st and 10 from the 40 now in field goal range. Comes some bodies, and there goes a deep, deep ball for Manny again, but way overthrown this time. And so Jonathan Jennings just not in sync right now, especially downfield.
Well, I just don't think that Manny Arsenault is going to run away from Cassius Vaughn in this situation, and he never climbs him, and Cassius just turns and runs and actually just stymies him and getting on top of his stem route. And the ball's thrown to the middle of the field, but Cassius did a nice job of bumping him off course, and ball falls apparently to the ground. It looks like they're way off, but that was just a decent play by Cassius Vaughn.
Looks like the final play of this opening quarter here at BC Place tonight on the final game of the regular season. Jennings now moves that pocket.
There you go.
On the roll, takes off, and Jonathan Jennings down near the 20, but there's a penalty flag back near the 50-yard line. This could be coming back.
Holding BC number 69. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Whew. That's a tough one. Yeah, it's Charles Valancourt, second-year player from Laval. big boy right here. As Jonathan breaks contain and moves to his right here, this is typically, Valancourt doesn't know this, and he doesn't let go, and he's caught holding Cleon Lang, who's a load. I'd do the same thing. You get your mids on him, try to keep him there, keep him in front of you. Once Jonathan Jennings broke contain, Valancourt had his mids on the big defensive lineman, holding Kirk.
Quarter can't end on a penalty, so one more here, barring penalty. This won't get off as well.
They look out of sync here the last 2-3 plays.
Well, they were down in field goal range, Matty, and now they're way back at the 50 and not in field goal range.
BC number 84, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
This is really taking them back, and Wally, a look of disgust.
I can see some type of screen play to Jeremiah Johnson here, or something to try to pick up 10-15 yards underneath this zone coverage, which you're going to get here, and try to put Ty Long in position to put 3 points on the board.
10 yards forward, now 35 back, and back near the midfield stripe. Jennings goes over the top, and it is picked off, and it's Cassius Vaughn. Vaughn now still scooting around and has the ball up near the BC 50-yard line. The 17th interception of the season thrown by Jonathan Jennings right into the midst of Cassius Vaughn. That's the way the first quarter ended. A quarter dominated by the Argos. Must win or tie tonight, and they have the East Division title. Cassius Vaughn with that pick at the end of the first quarter. In the story tonight, all Toronto Argos 10-zip over the BC Lions, playing it up. Some evaluation time. They have questions. The only question for the Argos, if they can hang on here, who will they play if the East semifinal played next week between Edmonton and Ottawa? If they hang on, who will the Argos play? But right now, we also have to look at Ricky Ray and what he is doing as he gets ready for another postseason.
He's taking care of business. 7-9 in the first quarter there, just making it look easy. He's been the beneficiary of some really good field position. And get it here because of Cassius Vaughn. Just says thank you very much to Jonathan Jennings as he overthrows Shaq Johnson to the boundary, which is where you want to attack on a cover 4 look, which they got in a second and long situation. And Jonathan's like, what is going on? Just on the same page with his receivers right now in the first quarter shows, and Toronto's been taking care of business.
They look to make them pay right away, looking for S.J. Green. Wonder if we'll see Ricky Ray in November, which has become Movember the last few years. He gets that Fu Manchu going, which is a really good look for Ricky Ray.
Jonathan Jennings got a jump start on him already.
He's got it going already.
Yeah, he's got the, Ricky's done that in the past, and it looks like he's not out of the gate yet, but Jennings has certainly got the jump on him with the sweet stash going on.
He has got a sweet stash. He needs to get that sweet offense going, in his arm struggling here tonight as Ray runs the screen. Wilder now with a convoy. James Wilder down near the 30 and brought down finally near the 28-yard line in a perfectly executed screen from the Toronto Argonauts.
Yeah, this is the type of play I would think. Watch the big boys come out here and get in front of JWJ. And this is what I thought that you'd see from BC in a play call. And a little convoy out in front of Jeremiah, but Toronto says, hey, this is how you're supposed to do it right here. They do that to perfection as James Wilder Jr. picks up 22.
Ray again operating now over the top for SJ. Inside that red zone area once more, and S.J. Green has 3 catches tonight. This one for 14.
Yeah, watch the route here by S.J. Watch him just stick the guy hard to the outside. Bam! Give him a little head. Move to the outside, then back on the inside. Well, I tell you right now, what I'm witnessing is Toronto going to work, taking care of business, doing what they have to do, and crushing the will of the BC Lions right now.
They've kind of put the Lions defense in a blender here. Heads are spinning. Ray once more, and Armani Edwards will get some positive yardage. Looked like it might have been a loss.
Malcolm Williams is not happy with himself as as he misses a block on Kendall James right there. Watch him up top here. He's responsible for the corner coming in support here as the ball's dished out to Armani, and he's like, oops, forgot to block. Sorry about that, boss. Armani will tell him about it, because that doesn't feel good.
Ricky dodges one. End zone. Going up high was Wilder, but kind of mistimed that jump.
Yeah, he did. He looked like, got no hang time. Got no hang time. And his legs might have been a little heavy from that 22-yard scamper on the screen, but yeah, I thought it was a touchdown for Ricky Ray here as Wilder sneaks out of the backfield. But the rule of thumb is, if you're running a flat and you get to the boundary, you've got to wheel up. But what happened there, Solomon saw what was happening, was deep in his depth, and was able to play over the top of that throw.
21-yarder for Haiwalahu to make it 13-0. A couple of drives that stalled in that red zone. Otherwise, this could be worse. Solly was in on this play. No high point catch this time for JWJ. Coming up at halftime with the boys, Henry Burris, who said goodbye to football after last season, the professional grade playbook on saying goodbye to the game's greats. Not saying goodbye to Ricky Ray. Wally Buono.
Don't be pushing him out the door just yet. Yeah, but
Marco Iannuzzi is saying goodbye.
Yeah, he's already announced that.
Thought we may have said goodbye last night to John Bowman. I'm not quite so sure yet. I think John Bowman still got at least another season.
I saw Suits post a tweet out there and saying that he's leading the club for John Bowman to come back for another year, and I'm agreeing with that. I think he's got a lot left in the tank. Played a lot of this football season with the club over one of his hands.
Yep.
Tough to do as a defensive end when you rely so much on your hands, but I'd like to see Bowman come back. Iannuzzi's already said his goodbyes. This will be his last game here.
When did you know it was time to say goodbye?
Well, I didn't have a choice, Rod. I was on the field taking a knee in '96 in September, 6 weeks into the season. I knew my career was over with when I was on the field, trying to figure it out. For 21 years, I've been trying to do that.
What a cutback there by Rainey. Bear Woods, who grew up really with Chris Rainey. They were college rivals and, of course, teammates in Montreal. Rainey played at Florida. Bear Woods played at Troy.
Yeah.
They know each other well, and then they were teammates again with the Alouettes.
Yeah, and this is Rainey doing his thing. Pales in comparison to Spencer's numbers a couple weeks ago, but absolutely phenomenal club-setting records. And he's had a club-setting year this year with a note on that board there. Over 3,000 combined yards. First BC line ever to do that.
Brian Burnham over the top with a penalty flag. The only thing about Chris Rainey is, return-wise, we're kind of used to saying how many return touchdowns he has, and he has kind of struggled in that department.
Illegal contact, Toronto number 26. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Zero TDs on the year in that department. He's got 3 punt return touchdowns over the course of his career, 1 kickoff return touchdown, and he's special. He's a field flipper, like a lot of the great returners are in this league, and a difference maker.
He's fast. He can fly. Argos showing blitz here. They bring it with Gabriel, and Jennings goes over the middle. Manny Arsenault draws a crowd and a pickup about 4 yards. It's a heavy hit. Manny's back up.
Yeah, and I don't think Jonathan's seeing the field well at all here, because this ball comes out late out of necessity, and he's dumping it down, and Manny's got to go down and pluck it low, much like what Andrew Harris did on the Deshaun Davis hit last week. It's good to see him playing last night and breaking an all-time running back receptions record, 103 on the year. Broke Craig Ellis's.
There's a sack on Jonathan Jennings. The Argos. Lemonade time here in BC for Sean Lemon. His 8th sack of the season. The Argos trying to get that sack lead. They have not led the CFL in sacks since 1997. The year they won the Grey Cup.
Yeah, the Lemonade back in the mix. He had a career high 14 sacks last year. Been injured this year. That's his 8th on the season. They're happy to have him back and healthy.
What a kick by Ty Long. Jackson sandwiched. Well, it's a little cool in November for lemonade. Argos will take it, though.
Cleon Lang getting nasty in there, too. The big push up the middle.
Is that...
Oh, you was gonna hit me? I was gonna hit you. Bro, you ain't nobody I'm worried about, bro. I watched plenty of film on you. Hey, what a touchdown ball. I look fast. I look fast. Woo! What a run.
Talking about saying goodbye to the all-time greats. There's one of them, Nick Lewis. CFL Wired Wednesday, 7:30, 4:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
And there's a guy who was CFL Wired, is Nick Lewis.
Yeah, and you know, I don't like any player making a snap decision. I'm not saying it's a snap decision, but a quick decision as the season's winding down. And you know, I think it's best to get away, kind of lick your wounds a little bit, and recuperate.
You think Nick's got some left in him?
I'll never count him out.
No,
that's for sure, because he's been doing it for a number of years as well as anybody ever has, and future Hall of Famer. And I just believe that it's best to take a little time before you make those critical decisions.
Well, he's like this guy. He's hard to bring down. James Wilder, you saw those numbers, and Wilder, who was running wild against Winnipeg a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, he was. Oh, it's just making it look easy. He's really opened up this offense, not only with his running ability, which has been special, and gives that offensive line a chance to tee off and eat up front, but catching the football, boy, he breaks tackles in space, and he's really finding his comfort level in the Canadian Football League and hurt.
Dad, of course, great. It's his talent quite naturally. His mom was a sprinter. Dad, all-star running back with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Ricky looks one way, then the other. Nice play for S.J. Green.
Yeah, he just comes across the formation, Rod, and just sits down, knowing where his spot is. And it took Ricky a little time to find him because he's got heat in the kitchen. He's got to slide to his left. Watch S.J. He's going to come over, sit down right there. Give me all, Ricky, give me. But Ricky's navigating with all the congestion in the backfield, and then he finds him late.
It's made Ricky Ray so great, that threshold that he has, the patience that he has.
Yeah, and the timing and the mechanism has been even honed in more with Trestman's offense this year.
2nd and 1. Well, S.J. Green has certainly helped out quite a bit, being added to the offense, but Ricky Ray says he's just one of 12 on that offense.
I'm an execution quarterback. You know, I need a lot of help around me. You know, to be able to go out there and play to my strengths. And so, you know, with all these guys, you know, working hard and playing well and making sure they're in the right spots, running the right depths, and, you know, doing all the things that they need to do to where I can feel confident, you know, where they're going to be, has just helped me out a lot this year as well.
1st and 10. Ricky behind Anthony Coombs.
Yeah, Ricky's mad at himself. The ball's a little behind Anthony, and well, he had Imani Edwards if you wanted him on a rail shot, but he comes underneath the Coombs right here. You can see the ball's going to be behind Anthony just a little bit. He's able to turn his shoulders and flip his hips and maybe get 2 hands on it. He's got a chance, but Ray's not happy with himself.
Inaudible right now, sends out a signal. Looks like he wants to go surfing a little bit here. Lions bring 4, and here's that screen again for Wilder.
It's there. When you get in zone coverage, 2nd and long, get the posse and the big boys out in front of them and let Wilder eat. Watch the screen develop to the bottom of your portion of the screen. The big boys will get out in front. Ricky will drop back and fight the defensive lineman. There's the 2 big boys out in front, clearing the way. Another 1st down for the Argos. That's just easy. Zone coverage. Fight the defensive line to come upfield, throw it over the top of them, get an escort. Hats off to the big boys for making it happen up front. Holmes, McHugh, and Campbell. Washington, Van Zyl.
Another 1st and 10. The Argos tied for first in the CFL with yards on first down. 7 per play. James Wilder a little short that time of 7 yards, but still second and manageable. And the execution is one thing, the play calling is quite another. And
that's Marcus Brady. He does a fine job of, I mean, he's an even-keeled guy. I love his demeanor on the sidelines. Never changes, win or lose. No matter what the situation, Marcus Brady is as steady and as good as they come.
Maybe a perfect foil for the guy that he calls the plays for. Also such an even keel. Ray's in trouble though, and chucks it to Wilder. Avoids a sack.
That is ridiculous.
And Ricky Ray with a dime dishes it out. There's a penalty flag late. Looked like unnecessary roughness. Wilder dashed down to the turf.
Major foul.
Ricky
Horse
Ray?
collar tackle. Yeah. BC number 4. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Right. Now watch Ray. Now this is just knowing where everybody is on the field, and he steps up. Now there's no way he sees him. He just knows he's there, and he just chucks it in the vicinity, and it puts it on the 3 and the 2, and Wilder does the rest.
So there's the horse collar right there.
Well, it looks
like a stranglehold, actually.
Yeah, it looks like a stranglehold. But regardless, momentum. All Toronto Argonauts in this football game, the first quarter and a half, and they're moving again on the BC Lions, crushing their will to play the game.
I don't know if they got the right guy that time, but definitely a penalty. Red zone time again. Ray pulls it back somehow. Now Ray on the roll, and Ricky Ray to the sideline, and Armani Edwards gets dusted there by Luches Purifoy. How about Ricky Ray pulling that ball back at that last moment?
Yeah, because he's a little late on the corner route. He wanted to go to the left, but he's a little late. And of course, he's got Brooks right in front of his face, so he aborts that mission. Then he dumps it out to Armani, who takes a shot. Watch this shot right here. Luches Purifoy. Shoulder right in the back of the 1 and the 0. Armani Edwards.
Lions trying to hold again. Look at the passing yards for Ricky Ray, near 200. Floats it up. Anthony Coombs can't hang on.
Fight the feeling.
Anthony Coombs had probably thought about that goal line before he caught that football. That was certainly catchable.
Oh my goodness. He's going to have all this room to his left. He's coming out in the flat. Nobody around him. Oh, it just seemed to tighten up in the last second there. Ricky, now I know Ricky, he'd probably want this ball down just a little bit more, make it easier on Anthony, but that's a catchable ball. And both those players will look themselves at the video tomorrow and say, man, that's one that got away.
Argos have absolutely stepped on the Lions, but something that they're going to have to clean up heading to the playoffs is this red zone thing that they've got going. Yeah, they'll take the field goals, but they've been so close to the goal line.
Yeah, how about this defense holding Jonathan Jennings 4 possessions, 3 punt and interception. Commanding lead.
Introducing the new 2018 F-150. Haul more with best-in-class towing and payload. Move more with best-in-class torque. Be more confident with available Pro Trailer Backup Assist and Trailer Blind Spot coverage. And go further with best-in-class fuel efficiency. Whatever your challenge, bring it with the most capable F-150 ever.
He has been the godfather of Canadian Football League coaching. 5 Grey Cup championships for Wally Buono, the CFL's all-time winningest coach. Is this it? Let's go down to Farhan.
Well, Rod, there's been so much speculation about the future of Wally Buono and whether or not this is going to be his last game. And the man himself did shed a little bit of light on that topic this week when he said he wants to have a decision in place very shortly, even in the coming weeks, because he believes the franchise and the fan base need some clarity going forward. Now, that might not fit with the timeline of David Braley to sell this team. Many believe that the two men's futures are tied. Braley has talked about not being able to close on a deal until the new year. Some players did weigh in on the topic because of the situation with the team right now. they don't believe that Buono is going to walk away with the franchise in the current state. Talk to players like Ronnie Yell and Ricky Foley and some others who've known him for a long time, and they just can't see him walking away in the current situation. His coaching contract expires after the season, but he still is under contract to the club until into next season.
All right, thank you, Farhad. So maybe the sun is not setting, and Wally, who has had such a remarkable career in his lineage on quarterbacks and coaches and just the game, he has made the game better being around it.
Yeah, I find that fascinating with Farhan saying that insight that he brings to the table about Wally, because everybody's been kept in the dark, but something that we have been kept in the dark about is this guy's illustrious career is
just wins, baby.
Yeah, just that's what he does. And talking to Wally before the ball game, you know, he says, Matty, he's, you know, it's no secret you got to have good quarterbacks, and wherever he's been able to find quality guys to handle that position.
Argos jump, free play for the Lions. Well, chatting with Wally Buono, being around Wally Buono, you are always enriched by his conversation. You may never agree with some of the stuff, but I'll tell you what, he's always got a good opinion. And he loves this game.
That's right.
There may not be anybody who loves the CFL more.
I agree. Somebody told me that he doesn't love his ties. He doesn't like ties. And he went back to his first-year coach in 1990, right here in BC Place.
Offside. Toronto number 21. That penalty is declined.
Yeah.
Result of a play is a first down.
And right here in BC Place, 1990, Doug Flutie's playing for the Lions, and he throws a late touchdown pass and ties it up and beats him in overtime. And Wally was recalling that like it was yesterday. That's 273 wins ago. And he's talking about one of the 3 ties over the course of his career. Just phenomenal experience, and he's forgotten more football than most people will ever know.
Just waiting to see if this is the 3-minute warning here. There was a penalty. And again, interesting what Farhan notes with the possible sale of the Lions, the future of them if Wally is tied to that. Right now, Wally is the coach and trying to get his team a W in this last game of 2017. 3-minute warning is on the field.
Jock Belt back in the studio, 3 minutes to halftime. We're going to talk about the Argos, how they may be gelling at just the right time. Also, we're going to speculate on a Saskatchewan-Ottawa crossover game, what that would mean after the Riders lost to the Eskimos, who are off to Winnipeg next week for the West Semi. Back to Rod and Matt.
Thank you, guys. Only one thing to be decided. Where will the Toronto Argos fit in the East? Will they host the East Final on November 19th at BMO Field, or will they play against the Saskatchewan Roughriders next week? Right now, looks pretty good for the Argos that they'll host that East Final.
Yeah, but Rod, to your point earlier, they've left some points out there, and BC's explosive, and if they can get to playing relaxed and free like they did last week, boy, it could be a ball game. Yeah. See, that's not gonna help.
No. Just a 2-possession ball game in the final 3 minutes of this first half.
He's pressing, and you can see it. You can see the difference in just letting it go and seeing the field. Jonathan struggled here in the first 30 minutes of play.
6 of 13 coming off his season best, just shy of his career best last week. Both of these teams coming off wins over the Bombers. Lions may have moved there.
Yeah, his left tackle.
Antonio Johnson kind of flinched. Make this second down even more difficult.
BC number 57. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Yeah, and this is 7 and 10 for a reason. You know, you heard Solomon talking, or Solomon has said that the difference between last year and this year is close games, and they didn't win those close games as they did last year. But it's things of that nature right there, forcing 2nd and 15. That'll help you lose those close games.
To shoot yourself in your cleats. Jennings now. Little screen for Johnson. Makes one miss and a good tackle.
How about that motor? Huh? That's Justin Tiggle. Excuse me, that was Akeem Jordan there on the tackle. I thought it was Tuggle. That's Akeem Jordan. That's hustle regardless. Watch him redirect. Great recognition and good pursuit to the football.
Another punt for Long, who's been the CFL's best punter. This one's going to go into the end zone. Lions will hear the Bronx cheers here because they get a point. It's not what they wanted.
It's just wrong. But you can feel the frustration of the fans, right?
Hey, 20 years of being in the playoffs. Wally Buono not used to being out of the playoffs. These BC Lion fans not used to being out of the playoffs since 1996.
And the dynamic that's going on with the BC Lions right now, and the not knowing the future of their head coach, possible sale of the team, whatever's hanging out there right now hangs over them like a black cloud. Because I remember like it was yesterday, 1989, we had just won the Grey Cup and lost to Winnipeg in '88. '89 we go. Change of ownerships hanging over our head. It trickled down in the locker room. We go 7-11 and miss the playoffs. It's a fact. It does take its effect on the football team.
You know, really, that's an interesting dynamic in sport and how it does permeate. You know, it really starts at the top in so many ways. The people talk about foundation.
Well, look what
starts at the top.
Astros just did.
There you go.
And you look at the celebration. You look at the game planning that went on for a number of years with that franchise to order to get them there, and the people that were involved
Offside
from the top
BC
down.
number 93. That penalty is declined. Second down.
Their owner, David Braley, of course, had owned both of these teams at one point. Argos sold off to Bell, part of the MLSE group now. Larry Tannenbaum involved. Second down and 2. Cody Fajardo decides to go right side and might get the benefit of the doubt. He will. He got progress. I find that interesting what you say, because you've lived it, you've played it, you've been around ownership groups, community-owned teams at times as well.
Yeah, it was. You watch Cody Fajardo here. We saw this last night go amok for Calgary Stampeders. Sideline to sideline in those conditions, you can understand no footing, and once you get penetration, it's all over. Here you got the natural turf, no problem with footing, and Cody Fajardo's been able to plant on a dime and turn up and pick up the first down.
Ricky Ray back out there again, decides to hand it off to James Wilder.
Decides, when is he ever going to pull that and keep the defense honest? Yeah. It's like, hey, we'll give you that one, Ricky. We'll give you the edge 24/7 because you're not going to beat us doing that. So they're going to give it to James Wilder Jr. So as far as the defense band or second level support off the edge, it's like, forget that. Just attack the football, because Ray's not going to pull it. And as soon as he does, and how many times he does, what, once every 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks?
Wilder stays in to protect his time. Ray throws a dart with 1:13 to go.
Amani Edwards. Amani come this ball game needed 89 yards, picks up like 11 there, go along with his 4 he's already got. He's closing in at 1,000. Love to see him go get that number, but he's been good for the Ricky Ray and company underneath. Amani Edwards just playing a big part of this offense. 80 catches on the season.
Argos haven't had 2 receivers with 1,000 yards since 2005, and over the top once again, that safety valve, S.J. Green, and Ricky Ray's now over 200 passing in this game, and S.J. Green has helped out a whole lot.
Yeah, and he's absolutely just doing his thing here, running a little dig, whoop, nice ball. That's execution right there. Tight window. Great route.
5 catches, 82. Ray, little flip teardrop to James Wilder. And that play has been working to perfection for the Argos. Really, the Lions have no answer to that screen, that dump pass from Ray to James Wilder Jr. 18 yards, Matty.
Yeah, this is just Awe gets sucked in because it looks like you're going to check and release there for James Wilder. He sucks him in and releases right behind him, and Alway's outflanked, and Ricky dumps it over the top, and it's off to the races.
James Wilder has become that dual threat. 139 yards offense on all his touches so far. Ray, end zone, got him. Touchdown to Veer Posey with his first catch of the night. and his 7th touchdown of the season.
Just an immense amount of talent around Ray. And I mean, Coombs and Wilder, they're just, watch this. He's just going to go up here and find a little soft spot in the zone, and Ricky Ray's going to find him wide open right in the middle of the field, right behind the linebackers, stick it on him, walk in the end zone. That's easy peasy.
Only the equipment manager hasn't caught a pass yet tonight. That's 7 receivers.
Yeah. That's
Danny Webb's got good hands.
7th touchdown on the year for DeVere Posey, product from Ohio State. Good pickup. It's been a real nice fit for the Argonauts.
Argos sailing away here in the first half and are 2 quarters away from reserving BMO Field for November 19th.
Yeah, DeVere, I love his attitude too. Team-oriented, which Mark Trestman actually requires out of his athletes. I think he makes them better men as well as football players. Ray finds DeVere Posey all alone for another score, taking command of this football game, up 23-1, making it look easy.
Ricky Ray doing what Ricky Ray does, operating at a high efficiency. And Mark Trestman, who's worked with so many quarterbacks, they've called him the quarterback whisperer through the years, has worked in the National Football League, and he has been the absolute perfect guy for Ricky Ray. He was the perfect guy for Anthony Calvillo.
Well, look at the people around Ray. You got Tommy Condell, you got Steve Walsh, you got Marcus Brady, you got Mark Trestman. That's a good group right there to draw on, to bounce things off of, to learn from, and nice environment they've created here.
Again, Ricky Ray came in needing 34 completions as Jeremiah Johnson tries to burst left side. Go out of bounds. Ricky Ray came in needing those completions for the all-time record. Now, Mark Trestman has a thing about his quarterbacks. And if, you know, even if they have a healthy lead, he keeps Ricky Ray in. Now, tonight might not be that night. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't. Because we thought that and said that for years with AC and Trestman, and AC played every snap. Ricky Ray's chasing Hank for most completions in the season. Hank did it just a few years ago and set the bar high. Ricky needed 34 coming to the game to break it, and he's well on his way the way he's firing the football.
And again, Trestman doesn't give his quarterbacks the hook. You may see Ricky Ray close to that or breaking that. That was an MOP season, of course, for Henry Burris.
Yeah, just lighten it up. I mean, that's amazing. That's a lot of completions. Some quarterbacks don't even attempt that many balls, let alone complete that many balls.
We've seen Ricky Ray last year, the Argos, and Ray has, you know, suffered some injuries the last couple of years, but last year they were 5-13. Jennings picked off again. And once again, same guy, Cassius Vaughn, another interception on the final play in the first half. That kind of first half for the BC Lions. Cassius Vaughn with 2 picks over the first 30 minutes. Ricky Ray slicing and dicing here tonight as well. 7 receivers chipping in. Wally Buono's team has work to do. The Argos 1 half away from securing their berth in the Eastern Final. Let's send it back to the studio. Here's
with Remembrance Day 1 week from today, the BC Lions in their final game this season are honoring members of the Canadian Armed Forces, past and present, at the half at BC Place. A nice tribute indeed for those who have fought and served this country. For every touchdown scored today and all season long, Safeway and Sobeys are proud to donate $250 to Special Olympics Canada. To date, Safeway and Sobeys have donated $112,250. Halftime stats, Jock.
Well, this is a real shocker. After the way Jennings played last week, only 50% passing, 66 yards. Wow. But look at the offensive output here by the Argos, and Wilder's just doing his thing.
So too is Ricky Ray, and standing by now with Farhan Lalji.
Ricky, obviously you guys had a lot to play for coming into this game. You've moved the ball around 7 different receivers, 300 yards. How comfortable is the offense right now?
Yeah, I mean, we're executing pretty well, putting some good drives together. Guys are making some plays. We just got to find a way to get in the end zone. We're kicking too many field goals, but, you know, we're giving ourselves a lot of chances.
How important was that last drive with 30 seconds left where you were able to punch it in?
Yeah, I mean, that's been the name of the game for us. We've been moving the ball well, but just haven't been able to finish. So for us to finish on that drive and kind of extend the lead a little bit going into half was big for us.
Thanks for this.
Thank you.
Tell you, the Argos look fresh coming off a bye. It looks like they're heading right back into a bye, which would be right to the Eastern Final. If they keep this up, they have a 22-point lead with the second half at BC Place coming up on TSN.
Back in Vancouver, where the BC Lions try to play spoiler tonight. Not doing that so much so far. 23-1, an ugly first half for the Lions. Here's Farhan with Wally.
Wally, your team looked so good with nothing to play for a week ago in Winnipeg. How can you describe what's happened here in the first half?
Well, you know what, to be honest with you, it's embarrassing. We're a team right now that's got very little emotion, and Toronto's got a lot to play for, and it's very obvious right now who the better team is.
It's also pretty obvious that Jonathan Jennings is not comfortable. I know your thought coming into this game was to play him pretty much the whole game. Will you revisit that at all?
Well, right now, we're going to get the ball. Hopefully, we can get a drive going, put some points on the board.
Thanks for this.
Yeah, thank you.
Jonathan Jennings, we'll watch him. We'll monitor Ricky Ray, see how long he goes. You're not the biggest hockey fan. Well, I think you are a hockey fan, but you did have a very astute point because the Canucks are playing across the street.
That's right.
And they're actually outscoring the Lions tonight.
Yeah, 2-1. Sad to say. And Wally's right. It is embarrassing for this football team playing with no emotion. They got to turn around here in the last 30 minutes and see if they can't be competitive.
Trying to get a spark from Chris Rainey, and maybe he will. Chris Rainey still on his feet, and they can't bring him down until he gets up near the midfield stripe. A 43-yard return, one of his best returns in the second half of the season. But Jonathan Jennings, I think that word was a good word that Farhan used, uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's not seeing the field. He overthrew 2 receivers for a couple of gifts to Cassius Vaughn in the first 30 minutes. There's one of them. It's the last throw of the half there, and took it to the house and regrouped at halftime, and hopefully they come out here and get in sync.
Cassius Vaughn, 2 picks, 5 on the season. Jonathan Jennings has had good starting points as well. Manny Arsenault on that hitch, and he looks like that lunge for the first down will move the sticks.
I mean, this is a pride thing. This is going out there and being masters of your trade, and it starts with Jonathan Jennings. But I love what I see here in the first couple of plays. Rainey, effort play, Arsenault lowering her shoulder. These guys are explosive. They're not out of it yet.
They did not give him the first down, so it was 2nd and inches, but now they reset the sticks. So the Ottawa Redblacks still on hold because they are hoping that the BC Lions can find a way to come back here, and that would mean that Ottawa would host on November 19th.
You score here and put a little pressure on Toronto, and they certainly could come back in this football game because they are explosive.
Jennings has to chuck it away. Harassed in that backfield.
You look at the people that are out there right now for the BC Lions attack, and you got Nick Moore, you've got Manny Arsenault, Iannuzzi, Shaq Johnson, and a guy that I love, Brian Burnham, that's got 1 catch in the first 30 minutes of play. Get him involved. Rainey's in the backfield. They got weapons all over the field.
A lot of pressure on Jennings. Numbers don't lie. The Lions have given up the most sacks this season, but Jennings, that ball altered. As he threw it, somebody got a piece of it. And once again, a drive stalls and out of field goal position.
It's like that play never had a chance. It was slow developing, and Victor Butler was top of the screen, was coming late around the outside. Forced Jonathan to throw it too early.
Ty Long, look at this sky high. Armani Edwards just lets it bounce, and once again the Lion fans will cheer a single point. The Rouge comes into play. There's a penalty flag down. We'll check it out when we come back, and when we come back, Ricky Ray could be on pace for another record-setting night here. Try to get his team to that Eastern final.
Ricky Ray doing what Ricky Ray does. Spread the ball around. That's a wide side throw there. He just snuck it in there. Little maneuver in the pocket. Little bubble screen to Coombs. Little touchdown throw to SJ. 10th on the year to him. Armani over the middle. Nice easy touchdown toss to Devere Posey. Ricky Ray, 19 of 25, 76%, 244, 2 touchdowns in the first 30 minutes.
Again, battling injuries the last couple of seasons. Of course, one in his first season with Toronto in 2012, the Grey Cup, and has just been climbing the ladder in yardage. 60,000 plus, breaking records. 38 years now. Ricky Ray, 38 years young, and James Wilder Jr. is on that far sideline. And the BC Lions therapists are actually helping with Wilder, and this is not a good sign, particularly heading into the postseason. And there is some concern from the Argos.
As there should be. I think that is
considerable pain.
That is the key for this offense, is the ability to do just this, run the football. And I think maybe just the wind.
Maybe, yeah, it looks like he may have landed on that football. Let's see.
It's not a rib or anything, but just watching this, the ball lands right underneath him in his gut area, and oftentimes that's just the wind, and it could take a while for that to come back.
Well, that's what the Argos are hoping right now.
Well, I think CFL fans in general.
He has been so good for a guy who came into this league and is. Look at him, he's still got the fight. He's got the fight back. Came in, and talk about a soldier. Early on, did all the special teams work, knew that his time, his number would be called, and when it was called, all this guy has done is run, catch, and score.
That's a good sign for CFL fans and Argonaut fans for sure. And the Argonauts moving forward, just the wind knocked out of James Wilder Jr.
Whose father, by the way, played for Tampa Bay when Mark Trestman was a coach in Tampa Bay.
Crazy.
Crazy world. Come full circle sometimes. Wishbone offense here, cluster formation, and Ray fires and into traffic. Caught by Armani Edwards.
How about Armani, just like glue? The ball was thrown perfectly by Ray with timing into the middle of that zone defense. Watch Ricky Ray, going to throw it to his right. Going to hit that 5th step. Shuffle, sticking on him, and Edwards makes a strong catch with his hands. Let's check this out. See if he catches it. Let's see. The ball comes down. Can't see it from there. Not the right angle.
Lucas Purifoy was signaling that he did not, but it did not matter. He'll hand it off to Martise Jackson, getting a touch out of the backfield. Tell you earlier, that was another penalty against BC downfield as we went to break on that punt by Ty Long. Argos declined the penalty and still gave BC the point. So 23-2 the score right now.
2-2. Canucks Lions. Yeah. It's not the score that the Lions were hoping for. But they got to find a way to stop this guy, Ricky Ray.
Maybe that neutral zone trap isn't working out so much.
Yeah, I know a lot about that, Ron.
So Ray now. Audible again. Now looking for Jackson coming out of the backfield, and there he is. Look out, foot race here. Martise Jackson. And he's brought down by Kendall James, and Martise Jackson came out of the field there, and he was looking for it and didn't kind of know where to go. Ricky was looking for him, and then he found him again.
Yeah, I give Ray credit for having poise back there, and he's like, somebody move! And he throws just a nasty pass, and Martise goes down and picks it up, and he outruns Solly. Solly gives it a great effort. Jones on the other side of the field, he's got to come up with it. James on the other side of the field got to come up with tackle.
8 different receivers for Ray. Throwing again down the rail. It was one of his few blemishes tonight, looking for Posey, who has a touchdown.
An offensive lineman down there for the Argonauts.
That's probably one of the last words as well that a coach wants to say to his team, but you don't want to say it going out, guys, we got to get the win tonight. But by any stretch, please do not get hurt.
Yeah, that's Brandon Washington, the right guard. He's not even come out of the game. They just kind of rolled him over and said, suck it up. And he goes back to playing at right guard.
That is a big man.
There's no injuries at offensive linemen.
6'3", 320 out of Miami.
First-year player, yeah, they're happy to have him. Really important getting that.
Little shovel pass. Wilder's back, and guess what he's doing as he sprints to the sideline in a cutback. And James Wilder can't keep a good running back out that long.
Well, no, but a little shovel pass underneath. And Chandler Fenner is in his hip pocket and forces him to go laterally. Wilder wanted to turn upfield. He's smiling about it now, but watch Chandler and his speed mirroring Wilder Jr. as he tries to get the edge, and Fenner says no. Well, I love it. I see two athletes going at it right there. Fenner can fly. Love that guy. He's been a great addition for the BC Lions over the last couple of years.
Here's a big play for the Lions in particular. Need a stop here. Third down and a long 2 yards. Cody Fajardo comes behind center Sean McEwen. 3rd and 2. Hands it off. Wilder runs up the gut, and James Wilder first down and almost all the way for the touchdown. And they cannot stop this guy tonight. 26-yard romp for JWJ.
Yeah, he's just going to be off the Holmes. They're just going to blow him off the line here. He's going to hit a hole, and he's off to the races. Declan Cross on the edge just wipes out anybody for support. Just absolutely destroyed. TJ Lee.
85 yards rushing, 91 yards receiving for Wilder tonight. It's been kind of the routine night he's had. Ricky Ray looks to make the pay in the red zone, and he will. Declan Cross scores. And, you know,
that's just
the Saskatchewan Roughriders can practically get their tickets ready now.
Yeah, that's right. Start answer the questions, window or aisle, because looks like they're going to be crossing over. Declan Cross, 5th touchdown reception of the season. This is easy pickings. It's about the only misdirection that you have off of the point fake to make the defense honest, because you know that every time he point fakes to James Wilder Jr., they're going to crash on him, and then they slide Declan Cross in on the other side, outflanks the defense.
Again, how long will Ricky go tonight? Romp is on. 8-play, 75-yard drive. Haralahu again perfect this season on point afters. The McMaster Marauder, 5th touchdown this season. Argos open up a 28-point lead. It looks like it will be Saskatchewan and Ottawa in that East Division semifinal.
Hey, all glory to God for real. But I'd like you to direct you to the stars of this last play right here. Stars of the show. Turn camera left and play.
Oh, is he ever right about that?
Hey, he knows where his bread is buttered.
Argo football, let's go.
I love it, Declan. Paying tribute to the big boys up front, paving the way for all you glory hogs there, but gave glory to God. Outstanding, and Declan Cross getting it done.
We got to get him a shampoo commercial, like Troy Polamalu.
Yeah.
Wow, he's got the good hair. Gets worse for the Lions here. Declan Cross helping out, chipping in. 30 points now for the Argos, who are scoring at will.
Yeah, and I'm going back to the touchdown. Watch Declan come across the formation here. Watch Ricky Ray as he point fakes to Wilder here. Now, defenses don't have to respect the edge, but the way to balance the defense out is to bring Declan across the formation, and now the defense has got to respect that edge game. It's going to open up things even more for James Wilder Jr. in that run game. Very important to get Declan Cross, Anthony Coombs, Martese Jackson in that situation like they did with Declan to balance out that defense.
Jennings hit hard by Sean Lemon, and plastered in the backfield. No flag down. Lemon, no sack for him, but I'll tell you what, this duress here for Jonathan Jennings caused that.
This is duress delivered in a hurry. This is duress express. Come on.
Like that.
Come on. That is
it's lemon pie.
Yeah, and you know, they're professional hitters. He knows where he's got to hit him. If Jonathan ducks there, it's a helmet-to-helmet shot, and it's a penalty, but Jonathan didn't duck, and Lemonade put him on the shoulder and put him down in the turf.
Jennings dusts himself off. Hanks one into Chris Rainey. Still well shy of a first down, and yet again, the guy that Wally Buono has really liked the way he's kicked this year, but you don't want to see him kick as much as he had tonight, is Ty Long, CFL's leading punter. Maybe one of the reasons why he's the leading punter. He's been used so much this season.
Yeah, 48 yards a punt. He's got a massive leg. Saw him hit 70, 75 yarders in pregame and at halftime, and he's got a big leg for sure. Been seeing a lot of it today. That was not his best.
No, bounces backwards. Landusa, no yards, a 5-yard penalty. But it's James Wilder Jr. and Ricky Ray. But Wilder, the wild thing, makes the Argos offense sing. Does it again here tonight. Clutch out of the backfield. The Argos are rolling. First season in the Canadian Football League has been a special one for number 32.
Yeah, certainly has. Up for Rookie from the Toronto Argonauts CFL awards, and he's really making a case for himself in this ball game. 176 yards of total offense already. Ricky Ray up for MOP.
He's never won the MOP. There goes Wilder again, who has to be considered one of the favorites in the East. Again, East and West. And so too would Ricky Ray, having an outstanding season. And who would have thought at the beginning of the year, after 5-13 last year, you know, father time creeping up on him, a few more miles on the odometer. But Mark Trestman has made a big difference.
Yeah, that's who thought it. He just was steady, stuck to his plans. Team started out tremendous defensively, was their calling card. Offense is caught up, and they found some balance and added some pieces to the puzzle, and they got all the pieces to win it all, that's for sure.
James Wilder thrown for a loss, so he was over 100, but
you know, it
sneaked back under 100 after this.
You talk about that, Rod. Toronto's positioned well. Edmonton's hot once again. Winnipeg's got some question marks, certainly with their quarterback and Matt Nichols' health. Calgary stumbles in to the playoffs. They'll have some time to figure that out.
Never been 0-3 in 60 years.
Yeah, ridiculous. You know, going into the playoffs. That's right. And they were 6-12 when they did. Or 4-12, excuse me.
Ray, near sideline. Once again to Posey, and I guess what you're trying to say, and I'm sure that a lot of people are thinking this, a month ago, the teams with most momentum might have been Calgary and Winnipeg, and guess what, right now, it's anybody's ball game. I think of the 6 teams that remain, anybody can win the Grey Cup.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think Edmonton's the team to beat right now in the West.
Momentum.
Momentum-wise. And I just think they are based on what I see. 5 in a row. Very streaky team, getting healthy, and the people that had to play when they weren't have got some experience, which will help them. So,
well, the Derby begins next weekend in earnest. Second season. That was a good kick from Haralahu. There's a penalty flag down in the end zone. This might be too many men on the field from where those flags are situated. And based on counting it up back there, it might be against BC, and if it is, let's see.
Too many men. BC.
It is.
10-yard penalty. First down.
Argos bring their offense back on the field.
Yeah, this is just, this is like Wally said at halftime, very succinct, embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. This is a team that just has not been like this through the last few years, and obviously scuffling as they look to close out what has been a dismal second half of the season. It hasn't been the entire season.
No. I give those fans that are here credit.
This was a team that was 5-2 at one time. On 2-8. Ray again hands it off to Wilder.
There's an example of a defensive end not having to worry about, that's Alex Bazzi, not having to worry about the edge. And that's why I say the balance of having a Coombs or a Declan Cross or a Jackson coming across the formation in the ISO fake is essential to balance out that defense and make them respect the edge. But there, Bazzi doesn't. He crashes down and makes a stop tackle for no gain.
Argos quickly get on the ball, go high tempo here, 2nd and 10. Again, how long will Ricky Ray remain in this game as he's chased down? And that ball knocked down, so too is Ray. So now Aralahu will come out once more, and instead of punting, this time he will kick a field goal. Ricky Ray picks himself up.
I mean, not even a hesitation, not even a look from his head coach, Mark Trestman, as Ray walks to the sidelines after he picks himself up off the turf from Alex Bazzi pushing him late there after he threw the ball. And
don't you think with a 28-point lead, and I know it was MO, don't you think it's a little risky or a lot risky?
No question, because you're one play away from Cody Fajardo or McLeod Bethel Thompson or Jeff Matthews.
And nothing against those guys.
No.
But I don't know if you're winning the Grey Cup.
No, you're not. You're not. So,
it's an
we know
interesting conversation.
Yeah, we know that Mark Trestman has gone down that road before. He likes to play his quarterback.
Marco Iannuzzi, final game when we come back to the top 4. But what the Harvard grad has done in his time with the BC Lions. Former first-round pick of the BC Lions came out of Harvard. May not have been the greatest receiver. I'll tell you what, though, he's definitely the smartest. And this is Marco Iannuzzi's final game. Classy guy, Tom Pate Award winner. Here's Farhan Lalji.
Rod, not the way Marco wanted to go out with a performance like this. He's yet to catch a pass as well in this game, but he said he's known for the last 3 months that this was about it, and he's been pretty comfortable with his decision. He wanted to walk away on his own terms before injuries got the better of him. He said he's had some great memories, some great teammates. He's won championships, and he's even learned from this experience. And many people didn't think he would go 7 years during his draft process with his interview with Wally Buono. Wally said to him, Marco, you're a smart guy. You're from Harvard. Why do you want to play in the CFL and make $75,000 a year as a rookie? And he said, well, actually, Coach, that's a lot more than I thought I was going to make as a rookie. But he's got a real successful career in the financial sector that he's put together. And again, he's been able to walk away on his own terms. He'll have his family down here on the field with him after the game. And one of the good guys, as the Lions look for a future president, I'll tell you, in 10 years, he might be a pretty good candidate.
Oh, I agree with you. You know, I remember chatting with him last year at the CFL Awards, and I love chatting with Marco Iannuzzi through the years, and we wish him the best. Such a great dude. I even thought at some point he could be a great commissioner. He is that kind of a guy. Brian Burnham, catch made there. We welcome viewers who are watching the preliminaries for the UFC fight. And the BC Lions, if this was a UFC octagon fight, would have been tapped out long ago. 33-2. Final game, regular season here tonight. CFL season, getting ready for the playoffs. And Argos with a win tonight. Looks like they're going to get this win. Time ticking down in the third quarter. Will secure home field advantage, a bye next week, and take on the winner of Saskatchewan and Ottawa in the East Final.
Yeah, going back to Marco Iannuzzi, it's a testament to his 7 years. Like, what he did for this community and for himself, and how he set himself up to stay here and become a part of it.
Rolly Lumbala takes that ball, but Jennings got sandwiched. I know you were saying he's such a good community guy, and in fact won an award that's close and near and dear to your heart.
Well, because it represents, it's the most prestigious award I ever won. And I did it here when I was a BC Lion. The Tom Pate Award. And recognizes your efforts away from the game of football and the difference you make in the community. And that guy, all these positions you're talking about, president of this club, or He's already positioned himself with a couple ownership groups to be a liaison for the football team and the management group. And, commissioner, all these things can happen for this guy because he's that smart and that good.
Well, here's another thing that not many people talk about. We talk about sports. We're so lucky we get front row seats. We talk about the game. Marco, not everybody can go to Harvard or go to Ivy League. But what you can do in sports is you can go to school and you can get education, because guess what? When it's over,
that's what it's all about.
You need a parachute.
That's what it's all about. It was about for myself as a young kid growing up. I wanted to get a scholarship so I could get an education. And then you take it from there and you continue to get your education throughout the years. And Marco has been educating a lot of people on how to make it happen.
That's one of the great things about this game, as Jonathan Jennings is sacked by Quadarius Ford. That's a second sack for the Toronto Argos, trying to win the sack crown this year. Came into the game 2 back of the Calgary Stampeders. So one more play here in the third quarter. Did you see Travis Lulay's mustache on the sideline?
I did not. I did not see it.
Oh, he looks very, very...
What are you going to say?
Stylish.
Okay,
I'm going to say stylish. I'm not sure.
Easy there, Rod.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm a guy who had a mustache. If I gave him my old mustache, he'd still look better in his new one. Brian Burnham over the top.
They got a hold, looks like. And maybe a late hit.
Maybe a late hit. There's a flag, and they're moving downfield. Jennings feels.
Roughing the pass. Yeah. Toronto number 94.
So at 15.
15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So 15 yards, and so finally the BC Lions, hey, you know the CFL, anything's possible. But no, I'm not going there. The way they have played tonight, but finally they get it down near the red zone, where, by the way, they're most proficient in the CFL this season.
Victor Butler is going to be the guilty party for hitting Jennings late. A little love tap. Knocks him down, draws a penalty. You got to be disciplined, because those plays in the playoffs will get you bounced.
Last play, third quarter. First time the Lions have been in the red zone. They're #1 in the CFL in this department. That was right in a very tight window. Burnham is starting to wake up this offense that has been sleeping tonight. 33-2 the score as we head to the fourth. And we get ready for the postseason of the 2017 CFL campaign. Lions driving the football as we begin the fourth quarter, but they're way back, and they've only got a pair of rouges in this one. Look at the discrepancy on the board, and this was from the opening kickoff, Matt Dunnigan.
No question. Ricky Ray's been on his game, spreading the ball around to all his receivers, and it's been fun to watch. If you're a BC Lions fan, not so much. It's been very embarrassing, but Ricky Ray is going to work fine-tuning this offense, and the defense hadn't had much pressure put on them tonight all night long from the BC Lions offense.
And again, how long is the leash for Ricky Ray? Mark Trestman has shown in the past that he stays with a quarterback a long time. Ray, by the way, with some drama in this, still 10 completions away from an all-time record for completions in a season, breaking Henry Burris's. Will he be in long enough? Will Mark Trestman go to his backups and get ready for the playoffs? Jonathan Jennings dances now down near the 5-yard line. BC Lions finishing up, trying to finish up strong. They have been dormant here tonight.
Yeah, you watch this point fake by Jonathan Jennings. He's got Arsenal coming in over here. He's wide open, but this point fake, that's too much. Ball's got to be out there sooner than that. Jennings can't get it out, so he's got to pull it down and make something happen with his legs. That's just coaching, and that's just understanding that timing, and it's been off tonight for Jonathan Jennings.
Jennings very good in the red zone along with his teams, and finally in the end zone, Jeremiah Johnson. Will he dance?
Yes.
When you're down this much, do you still dance? And maybe not. Jeremiah Johnson, known for those touchdown celebrations, and by the way, that is his 12th on the season.
Yeah, well, they're used to running backs scoring here often. When Andrew Harris here, he lit it up. Jeremiah Johnson been lighting it up here.
Finally, something to cheer about for the BC Lions. They find a conventional way to score here. And Tai Long will line up for the 32-yard point after. And early in the fourth quarter, still a long way back. Finally a step in the right direction. Argos would be happy to get the bus started, get the plane started, and get ready to head home. We apologize for that. We're live, of course. Jeremiah Johnson, that frustration creeping in for the BC Lions.
He's fired up, wants that football, a competitor. Give me the rock, I'll show you what to do with it. Breaks the tackle on the way to the end zone.
I think you or I might have actually had a little bit worse to say based on,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. But I was a little disappointed we get the salsa there. Does a good little dance. Celebrates with his teammates. I like it. You know, that's giving love to his center, Cody Husband. Celebrating there with big man Milton. That's the way to do it. Down 33-9.
That's how it be done.
Ain't about the individual, about this football team moving forward, trying to figure it out.
We talked about the red zone. And the Lions this year in the red zone
been
phenomenal. And you know, really kind of started that too was Travis Lulay. And you know, you look at the numbers when they kind of fell off the cliff. The BC Lions is when Lulay got hurt. There never was that stabilizer, that security blanket behind Jonathan Jennings if he struggled. And once Lulay got hurt, the Lions were 1-5.
Yeah, and it was like Jonathan was pressing. It wasn't playing relaxed. And you can see the difference. Relaxed last week, not so much this week. And he's got to find a happy medium there.
There's Travis.
Yeah,
we wish him.
Look at those mustaches. They have a little mustache off here. A stash off.
It is Movember, and
it is. Love the fact that they're doing that. Yeah, they look like police officers. Yeah, seriously. Looks like Donnie Cousins, good friend of mine, retired CFL judge.
They could have their own sitcom.
Side judge, yeah, they could.
Again, raising awareness for prostate cancer. Wear that mustache. Ray gets hit, but the catch is made by Armani Edwards, who moves closer to 1,000 yards on the season.
Yeah, he knows that, too. He needed 89 coming in. He knows that's on the line. And Ray takes a shot delivering this football. Right in the chest. Spots it to Edwards. Makes a nice catch on the back end. He's fun to watch after he catches that football.
Has 52 in the game, needed 89. Ricky Ray, 9 completions away from an all-time mark. Loads of time to do it. Decides to just drop it into the belly of James Wilder Jr. Ricky Ray's had a lot of numbers beside his name, like all those guys you talked about, like yourself. You guys all the elite quarterbacks have so many numbers, and we compare numbers, and right now we're comparing this number.
Yeah, these are crazy numbers. And passing era, an era where offenses are throwing the football more than they ever have, and Henry Burris lit it up and was MOP that season, and Ricky Ray's in the running as well, chasing that record of completions in a single season, and he's in that running for MLP too. Very interesting. Both these quarterbacks, Hall of Famers.
Anthony Coombs squirts down near the 29-yard line. You look at some of the favorites for MOP. Certainly Ricky Ray would have to be considered one of the favorites in the East, and Greg Ellingson as well.
Yeah.
In the West, Mike Riley, Alex Singleton.
Yeah, I think legitimate competition is Mike Riley from Edmonton out of the West.
Especially the way he finished.
Well, he's been spectacular all season long, finding ways to win close games when they're on that 7-0 stretch, and then really piecemealed it together. He runs the football, throws the football, puts his team in a position to win, leaves it on the football field. Watch Solly hit his own guy right here.
He's really going after this tackles record. He's not getting credit for that one. He's got 9 in this game and needed 11 to break the CFL record, which he owns.
Yeah, he hit Kendall James right there. He's hoping he's okay. Walking him off the football field. He's just experienced the pain that a lot of other running backs and receivers have for opposing teams when Solomon arrives.
Let's continue to shine the light on Ricky Ray, though.
Yeah, let's do it. Yep. 13th 300-plus yard game this season already. 91st time he's done that in his career. 91 times. That's just
yikes.
Silly.
Team on the verge of reserving BMO Field for November 19th. There goes Wilder again. Running wild again. And James Wilder spun out of bounds by TJ Lee.
He just forearm shucked Brooks right off of him in the hole. You're going to watch this. I believe it's Michael Brooks that shows, and right in the flashes in the hole right here, and watch him forearm shiver. Get off of me. Slings Brooks right off of him, and he's off to the races.
Such a unique runner, isn't he? Kind of guy that's tallish, you know, like not one of those guys who crouches down, but he's got so much power in the legs.
Like 6'2", like 235. It's, I mean, it's he's a specimen, no doubt.
Over 200 yards offense supplied by Wilder. He's going to add to it here. Maybe end zone here. Leaps forward down near the 3 where the Argos are going to go first and goal.
Yeah, I don't know if guys want to tackle him right now. He's making a miss, leaving him in his dust as he's just gutting this defense. And Toronto's just turning it out here. Giving it to their meal ticket right now, letting the big boys feed up front. Just a poor effort there by TJ Lee and Brooks. His little tick from the last play, getting forearm shivered out of the way. He's fast tracked, and he got back into the mix.
How about Wilder once more? Yep. And will he score? No signal. Yes, it is. It's a touchdown. James Wilder. And a brilliant rookie season adds another touchdown. Wilder is slow to get up, and so was an old lineman as they were bashing down there. Some smash mouth football. But James Wilder has his 5th touchdown of the season in his first season north of the border.
Yeah, and this is just an effort play here, and Wilder wants it more. Declan Cross seals the back edge, tries to, doesn't get his man. But always in there in the hole, and Wilder refuses to be denied. Finds the end zone. That is, I mean, that's a guy just playing for the love of the game there, because they're up at that point. And he just got a nose for the end zone.
Aralahu, a regular season perfect on converts. This guy's been almost perfect too. James Wilder splits the seam, nose for the ball, nose for the end zone. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the 2017 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition. Get noticed like a pro. Busy night downtown Vancouver. Canucks right beside the Lions.
Damn, Daddy love you.
And the Argos taking it to the hometown Lions tonight, 40-9. James Wilder just scoring. Chris Rainey trying to squeeze a few more yards out here. Big night for the Boatmen.
It's Cameron Walker on that special teams tackle from behind. Effort play by Walker. Love it.
Jonathan Jennings still at quarterback for the BC Lions. Wonder if they might give some of their backups some time here in a game that's now score really inconsequential. This game really over. And the question too for the Argos, is Ricky Ray done? Will they shut him down, get him ready for the postseason? Interesting comments that Milton Jock had at halftime about, you know, rest time before the playoffs.
Yeah, any kind of rest. I don't care if it's an Ottawa situation, playing one game in 30 days. If they had one, but then obviously they're going to play and have to play through.
It's been a crazy schedule for them, though.
Calgary getting some weeks off, whatever it may be. I'm all for rest. They're playing through things. No, these guys are duct taped together this time of year, and rest is critical for any team.
Jennings just got that off. Rumbling forward to that 50-yard line once again is Lumbala. Getting a few touches here tonight as the Lions play out the final few minutes of their lone season in 2 decades of not heading to a postseason.
Yeah, just think of somebody like Anthony Coombs, who's playing the first time in a long time in this football game, and think of the pain that he's going to be waking up to in the morning. And he's going to have some time to rest and recuperate. What goes with everybody else on the football team, more importantly for Ricky Ray, is healthy and get that arm as strong as possible moving to the playoffs.
Martese Jackson cutting back. Crunch near the 32-yard line. Flag down. We'll catch up with that when we come back. Is Ricky Ray still in? That's the question as well. There's the answer. Ricky Ray is shut down for the night. Get ready for the postseason. Will be short of the completion record, so Henry Burris's mark is safe. Had he stayed in tonight, I'm sure he would have.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Get this young kid who they're really high on, McLeod Bethel Thompson,
who went to the same school that Ricky Ray once went to.
Isn't that crazy? That is just, what are the chances?
Big arm on McLeod Bethel Thompson. And a little false start here, and it's probably something to do with the
procedure. Toronto number 54.
Yeah, I'm sure.
After this is a goal, repeat first down.
Speaking of McLeod Bethel Thompson, best guy for a judge of character on a football team other than the head coach is more than likely your equipment manager. Speaking of Danny Webb, equipment manager for the Argonauts for 3.5 decades. He loves this kid, says he's got all the parts, and they love him in the locker room and his skill set.
Some of the unsung heroes are those equipment men, and Danny Webb, one of the best, one of the great guys in the league, and we want to send our best out to a guy who's done that for so many years for the BC Lions.
Yeah, Kent Kasuya, better known and affectionately known as Cato. Cato's health has not been good over the last little while, and he's away from the club right now, and all our thoughts and prayers will go with him as he struggles through some difficult times. And we hope you get better soon, Cato. Miss you out here.
Absolutely. Cato, such a fixture here for the BC Lions through the years. 3-man rush now for the Lions. Longest field of the night for the Argos is Bethel Thompson.
Yeah, Cato was here since I was here, and he took over for Creighton O'Malley. May he rest in peace, and he's been a fixture of that organization and keeper of all good things in that locker room.
Solomon Elamimian moving closer to that record.
Yes, he is.
That is his 10th tackle of the night.
6th time this season he's had 10+ tackles.
One away from breaking his own record. Now 143, unless there has been another tackle added on or one that he was not credited for. Haralahu, will he likely give up 2 here in a 40-9 game? And he will give up 2.
He is running too now.
There goes Lyra.
Get dog chased over there.
So the only drama left in this game, see if that clock moves fast and see if Solomon Elamimian can break his own record, because he's tied it now. Tackle number 143 on the season. That is incredible. You want a record broken? Better call Saul.
That's right. I knew you were going there.
There you go.
I love that.
Most outstanding player nominee, defensive player nominee. You'd have to think he's going to break his own record shortly here tonight, and would have to be considered one of the favorites in the West, but it's a tough competition in the West.
Yeah, it is.
Alex Singleton, Calgary, Ed Gainey, great year in Saskatchewan. The year where scoring was up.
Chris Randall's a representation from Winnipeg.
Winnipeg.
Outstanding year.
Tell you what, Solomon Elamimian can celebrate that record, but you know what's really killing him tonight is that score on that scoreboard, and the fact that he's not playing after tonight.
Yeah, and his future with the BC Lions is up in the air with so many players, including their head coach and the coaching staff. It's a difficult spot to be in. It's the nature of the beast when you're talking about professional football.
He has been the anchor, though. Solomon Elamimian coming out of Hawaii. Guy that June Jones, the coach of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, knew well, along with Chad Owens.
Number 98. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
I mean, you're up by 29, and your motor's still running hot like Dylan Wynn. You gotta love this kid. Been a special addition for the Toronto Argonauts. Really a difference maker in that line. First-year player from Oregon State.
Might have been considered Rookie of the Year if not for James Wilder and what he did for the Argos. Jennings again to Lumbala. Ollie Lumbala's had as many catches as any of the wideouts or slot backs tonight. Cassius Vaughn makes the tackle. Time ticking down here on the 2017 regular season.
Yeah, coming to this game, Riley had 7 catches on the season. Not used very often. He's a special teams guru. Every time we talk about that young man, a veteran on that football team, it's what he does both on special teams and in the locker room and leading this football team. Some tough times this
like
year.
to see if Marco Iannuzzi can get a catch here in the late going as well. Finish off his career. Manny Arsenault. Iannuzzi has not caught a ball in the last 3 games. This is it for him tonight, and you know, probably it for a couple of other players.
Well, he made that play available for Manny Arsenault by getting on his horse and clearing off the
Now Jennings going deep, and in coverage, it's picked off. Rico Murray. Jennings throws his 3rd pick of the game, and Rico Murray says, get that airplane started. Argos will be heading home with a W here for sure tonight. Game no longer in doubt. And one-on-one coverage.
Just trying to make something happen, Rod. Rico Murray just does a nice job of staying in contact with Shaq Johnson.
Former Hamilton Tiger Cat.
Really found, I mean, he's having a nice season as an Argonaut.
First pick, 10th career. It's been fun watching the Argo bench here tonight. And it's obviously a lot more fun to watch a bench that is leading in a big way, but to see the dynamic. Cody Fajardo getting some time now. Marcus Ball is with the team. He hasn't played. They're hoping to have him back in the playoffs. Marcus Ball has been coaching up all the DBs in the secondary and the linebackers almost every sequence when they're back on the bench.
Yeah, he's pouring himself into it. True sign of a leader. That's the type of character that Mark Trestman looks for on his football team, as all coaches do. You love to see that, veterans spreading the wealth and knowledge and their experience to their younger guys, trying to make things happen.
Mark Trestman comes back to the CFL this year after being down in the NFL. Of course, head coach with the Bears, 2-time Grey Cup champion in Montreal, and his first season back, it's going to be a 500 season. They're going to have an East Division title. They hope to have an East Division championship. It'll be 9-9. They will await the winner of next week, Saskatchewan Roughriders and Ottawa Redblacks.
Yeah, they're going to have some rest, too. You know how I feel about that. That's huge going to the playoffs.
3-minute warning coming up after this. Haralahu. Frustrating season. And really only the frustrating half season. Haralahu is going to give up another deuce. Just run around, kill the clock. And he does add another safety. Lions get the ball back. 3-minute warning. 3 minutes to go on the 2017 regular season. Sprite Raptors basketball comes your way tomorrow, or I guess later today out east. Raptors against John Wall and the Wizards coming home from a 3-3 road trip. 5:30 Eastern pregame, 2:30 Pacific on TSN 1 and 4. Gotta love these Lion fans, I'll tell you. Win or, as this season was, lose. They're still out here, passionate fan base, and we'll see a lot of those fans, and we do during Grey Cup weekend. One of the greatest things about Grey Cup weekend, I know you love it, everybody from everywhere in Canada, they bring their colors.
We placed at midfield.
And that's the greatest celebration that the country has every year. And it's phenomenal to be a part of. Watch all the passionate fans.
Gonna bring your woolies? Okay, guess what? Here's the other thing that's happening over the next couple of weeks. No more indoor football. And it's all outdoors now.
Oh, yes. Yes. I was not sure how I feel about that. But
I'm kind of glad we're indoors tonight.
I'm going back to Texas in the morning, so
there you go.
I'll bring some winter clothes with me and go from there.
Alex Ross to finish up. Oh, my goodness. That
little trickery.
Yeah, that is not.
Oh, no.
Not at this time. Not at this time of the game and the season. And after a play like that, that is so sad. 2:32 to go.
No.
One of the things that is part of this game, but you just hate that can happen to anyone. We just wish the best here. Did not look good. Cody Husband there, center. Such an all-star year. The
Yeah, just gonna take one
native
look at
player
it
here.
There's your center snapping the football. 7th-year player from UBC, and this is just
a roll right over the back of him. Just trying to, as usual,
it changes everything.
Protect your quarterback and
pray for the best here. That just changes everything for him moving into the offseason.
Guy that Farhan knows very well, coached him up in high school and New Westminster. So we just wish the best, especially in this time of a game that's so out of hand.
It's worst nightmare.
He's that helmet being thrown. He knows. He is putting some weight on that foot. So we wish the best to Cody. Alex Ross got to get a grip on that football. Backpedaling now, and it's almost through that submarine style. It was almost underhand.
Well, he was backpedaling. They, I think, taking the initial receiver away, and Chris Rainey had to abort, take a different tack. He found it.
25-year-old Alex Ross out of Coastal Carolina heads to the sideline. Ty Long is going to have to ice that leg tonight. He has been busy hunting this football. This is not the way the Lions wanted to end 2017, but it's really been the story for them since about week 8.
Get noticed like a pro in the 2017 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition.
So now Solomon Elimimian comes out, next tackle, breaks his CFL record. Ready back in 2014. He was the most outstanding defensive player. He's won that award twice, up for it again this year. I would say there's probably a good chance it's going to happen in the next couple plays. He is.
And I wouldn't want to be the guy getting tackled by him.
He is.
Because you know he's coming like a bat out of hell.
A magnet. Just watch 56. Not on this play. Martese Jackson goes down to TJ Lee. 144. So here's the thing. If he doesn't get it on this play, he might not break his record. He might not have a chance to get back on that side of the ball. And Jackson, this is not a good sign for the Argos.
That's your worst nightmare from both sides. Wally Blano, Mark Trussman, guys going down late in the ball game. It's already decided. And
he's helped change their return game this season. He's in considerable pain. And this is not good. Now watch 56 in the middle. Maybe. Yes, he does. Solomon Elimimian has broken his own record. 144 tackles and counting.
I think Lucius Purifoy, his teammate, knew it, immediately went over and thanked him or congratulated him. And Solomon Elimimian playing like a pro the last snap.
Future Hall of Famer right there, folks. That guy, Solomon Elimimian. Whatever happens next year, that will be decided in the next few weeks and over the offseason. But one thing is for certain, he is a great one.
Yeah.
He is a great one.
The guy, you know where he's at every time you step on the football field. Where's 56? Get 56. Keep him away from me.
You know who's happy for him right now is his buddy, Adam Bighill.
Biggie.
Trying the reverse here. No, they faked that. Rainey. Fumbled the football, but they say he's down. So 43 seconds to go, Matty. We can start looking ahead here and think about what will be over the next couple of weeks. East and West semifinals, TD Place Stadium in Ottawa. Saskatchewan Roughriders crossover. No crossover team has ever gotten to the Grey Cup game. Never mind, won the Grey Cup game, has not gotten. Saskatchewan will try to be the first. They have to get through Ottawa, the defending champs, and of course, it will be the Edmonton Eskimos in Winnipeg to take on the Blue Bombers.
Yeah, no matter where you're going to play football, or where you're hosting, or where you're traveling, where you're crossing over, thought process is the same. Is to trust the process in of itself, pay attention to details, and take it one play at a time.
Manny Arsenault on his bobblehead night. Mark Trestman now has a couple weeks to prepare for the winner of that Saskatchewan-Ottawa game. Calgary waits in the wings for Edmonton-Winnipeg. And the second season, some call the real season, begins. 5 months, 20 weeks. How different is it in the playoffs?
Well, it's finality of it all. You know that every play can make a difference, and you want to be that playmaker, and in that moment to make those plays. And it's what it's all about. It's what you work for. It's what you sacrifice for. Families, players, coaches, everybody.
Going deep, jump ball, knocked down again by Rico Murray. Once again, watching Shaq Johnson. 12 seconds to go. I think the only thing left to end off the season, put one in the midst of 87.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah.
They're going to try to get one to the end zone as well.
That's be a nice tribute to Marco. He's moving out to the wide side of the field, top of your screen. Teed up with Mitchell White. Jennings is looking right.
Ross
left, and
going end zone to Burnham. Picked off. Mitchell White will bring an end to this game and an end to the regular season. The Argos take an extra day, come west. They've won 4 straight in BC through the last few years. They end a 7-game slide against Western teams on the road, but that doesn't matter. They needed the win or a tie. They got it. They'll have some time off, and they'll get ready for the East Final. Wally Buono, his future uncertain. As the Argos win 40-13 here tonight at BC Place. Time now for our Nissan Titan players of the game.
That's right, brother. And we're talking about the offensive line for the Toronto Argonauts. Pushing all these big boys. Will Campbell, Tyler Holmes, Sean McEwen, Brandon Washington, and Chris Van Zyl. Kolonowski and Watt will throw you in there too. A little Declan Cross. These guys protected Ricky Ray, who had a beautiful night at 341 yards passed and 3 TDs. James Wilder Jr. had 227 total yards rush, combined yards. That offensive line group is our Nissan Titan players of the game.
Took the final day of the season to decide a bunch of stuff. Saskatchewan crosses over, losing to Edmonton earlier today. They'll play in Winnipeg next week. The Argos win here. It will be the Riders and Red Blacks. So it's been a while, we can officially say, bringing it in, bring on the playoffs. Let the postseason games begin. Special thanks to all of our technical crew throughout the regular season. Can't wait to get it started. Matt Dunnigan, it's on. Game time, and so too is SportsCenter. Here we go.